What a hot day it is. What a boring book this is. It has no pictures. What's the use of a book like that? Hot days make me feel stupid. Though I'm considered very bright for my age, everyone says so.
Oh dear, I'm going to be late. Oh, will the Duchess be furious if I kept her waiting here? I'm supposed to escort her to the palace garden for the Queen of Hearts croquet tournament. Never mind for that, the Queen is bound to chop off my head. That's the penalty for being late.
My dear, I've seen quite a few rabbits in my time, but never one with a watch around its neck. So we must have gone down that rabbit hole. Quite a large rabbit hole.
whiskers. I'll have to go back to the house. I forgot my gloves. Oh, will the Duchess be beside herself with fury? And the Queen of Hearts is bound to chop off my head. She'll make out to stew me and put me into a pie.
Make way for Her Majesty! Make way for the Queen of Hearts!
Oh,
Off with their heads! Who is this? Who's the captain? How dare you enter my domain? What is your name? Hurry, little girl.
my name is Alice, Your Majesty. At least it was when I got up this morning.
So your name is Alice. I'm rather fond of Alice's. You must come to my garden this afternoon to play croquet.
Oh, thank you.
I'm making tarts just for the occasion for my royal recipe.
Oh, lovely. I'm very fond of tarts. At home, Mother always scolds me for helping myself.
You had better not help yourself to my tarts. Stealing tarts is a capital offense. I always have an executioner close by to behead anyone caught stealing tarts.
Oh, please don't behead me, Your Majesty. It's just, everything's so confusing today. And I would just like to go home and see Dinah, my cat.
Impossible! Only royal persons are permitted to go home. You'll have to become a queen yourself before you'll be allowed to go.
I must become Queen Alice just to go home?
Certainly, you foolish girl. And you'll have many strange adventures along the way. Each adventure is a necessary step. First, you must journey across Wonderland until you get to the border of Looking Glass Land. Then, you must travel square by square across the giant chessboard until you get to the 8th row. Only then will you become a queen and you may go anywhere you like.
Oh, it sounds very difficult and confusing.
You had no business coming here in the first place.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Hold your tongue! I am a hungry hyena, and you are a bow.
I beg your royal pardon.
You betcha! Come to my garden this afternoon and play croquet. Mind your manners when you get there, and don't be late, or you'll be punished. Tally ho! Ah, with their heads!
She told me to mind my manners.
Ah, with their heads!
Oh, how very curious everything is today. Oh, there's that nice rabbit again. Mr. Rabbit!
Oh, it's you again. You've met the Queen of Hearts, have you? I'll wait here. Sorry now that you followed me here. Did you ask to play croquet?
Yes, and very discourteously.
I shouldn't go in her. It's very dangerous to play games with her matters.
But she said she would punish me severely if I didn't go.
She will. Her Majesty has a dreadful temper.
Ah, with their heads!
Oh. Well, she told me not to be late, but she never told me what time to arrive.
Get there as soon as you can. The Queen will decide for herself whether you're late or not.
All right, well, I start crying any minute. Mr. Rabbit, would you please?
No time, no time. Oh, the Duchess would be savage if I kept her waiting. No time, no time, no
Oh,
time.
Mr. Rabbit, drop your gloves. Oh, stop crying. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I can see why it's long. But why is it sad?
We lived beneath the mat, warm and snug and fat. But one woe in that was the cat. Her joys and clothes, on her eyes a ball, on her hearts a log, was a dog. When the cats are away, then the mice will play. But alas, one day, so they say, came the dog and the cat, hunting for a rat. Each one, as they sat, underneath the mat, warm, snug, and fat. Think of that. You are not attendant.
On the contrary, I pay close attention. You're just so easily offended.
You can't talk to me like that. I shall walk out.
Oh no, please don't leave.
Let this be a lesson to you to never lose your temper.
Oh. And Mrs. Dinah were here. She'd get the cat back. She'd get the mouse back. You know, she's such a capital cat for catching mice. Oh, Dinah, I wonder if we'll see you again. Without giving my head. Oh, someone's coming. I wonder if it's the mouse who finished the story.
The Duchess! The Duchess! Oh, my dear paws! Oh, my fur whiskers! I'm going to be executed, sir. Carrots are carrots! Where can I drop them? Where are they? Where are they? Run home this minute and fetch me a pair of gloves. Quick now!
Wait! I have your glove right here. If only I knew what you were looking for.
Who are you?
Oh, well, I hardly know who I am because I keep changing.
Explain yourself.
Well, I can't explain myself if I'm not myself. You see?
I don't see.
Well, being in so many different places is very confusing. And seeing two different sizes is bewildering. Is that any clearer?
Not a bit. Who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are.
Why? Come back. I have something important to say. Mind your temper.
Is that all?
No. So, you think you changed, do you?
Well, yes. I can't remember things as I used to.
Can't remember what thing.
Well, I tried to recite how doth thy busy be, but it came out all wrong.
Repeat, you are old, Father William.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has grown very white. And yet you incessantly stand on your head. At your age, do you think this is right? In my youth, Father William replied, I feared it would injure the brain. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, I do it again and again. You are old, Father William, and one would hardly suppose that your eyes were as good as ever, yet you balanced a gill on the end of your nose. Now what made you so awfully clever? I have answered one question, and that is enough, said the father. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Now go on, or I'll kick you down the stairs.
That is not said right.
Not quite right, I'm afraid.
It is wrong from beginning to end. What size do you want to be?
Well, I shouldn't you be taller? 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It is a very good height indeed.
but I'm not used to it.
Whether you wish to grow taller or smaller, just break off a piece of the edge.
The edge of what?
The edge of the mushroom. It's a magic mushroom. Do as I say, girl.
This will make me grow bigger or smaller?
Whichever you like. Just nibble and wish.
Nibble.
Not now,
But when? When?
when the time comes.
When will the time come?
Oh, you'll know. Now, tell me where you're going.
I'm going to the palace to play croquet. Why are you laughing at me?
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Not if you ever want to go home.
Why do you say that?
Many who go to the palace never go home at all. They lose their heads over it.
But I don't know how.
Oh, you'll be accused of something before the day is out. Mark my words. Let me give you some advice before I go.
Well, please do.
When the time comes, choose your wish. Choose your wish, my girl.
There's no sort of use in the knocking, and that's for two reasons. First, because I'm on the same side of the door as you are. Secondly, they're making such a noise in there no one could possibly hear you.
But how am I to get in?
There might be some sense in your knocking if there's a door between us. For instance, if you're inside, you might knock, and I could let you out, you know?
But how am I to get in?
Are you to get in at all? That's the first question, you know?
Oh, it's so dreadful how these creatures argue. It's enough to drive one mad.
I shall sit here on and off for days and days.
But what am I to do?
Anything you like.
Oh, there's no use in talking to him. I shall have to go around to the back. Oh, there's far too much pepper in that soup. Oh. Could you please tell me why your cat rings like that?
It's a Cheshire cat, that's why. Have you ever heard the expression grinning like a Cheshire cat?
I didn't know cats could grin.
They all can, and they all do.
Well, I don't know any that do.
You don't know much, and that's a fact.
Little pig, take that and that, you stupid pig. You hit your baby like that?
Yes?
Take that and that. Oh, I wish your cook would go around
wasn't too annoyed because he knows it teases. I speak dearly to my little boy, and I'll feed him when he sneezes, so he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when it pleases.
May I ask you a question, Grace?
You never stop asking questions.
Will you go into the palace, play croquet?
I've been invited.
Well, so have I, and I was wondering if I could go with you.
The white rabbit is costly. You'll have to find your own escort. Little pig, here. You can nurse it a bit if you like. There you are, rabbit. And about time, too.
I beg your pardon, Your Grace. I was delayed.
You always are.
Oh, Mr. Rabbit, can I please come with you? I'm so scared to go to the palace alone.
Better not go at all.
The Duchess is right, my dear. You see, the Queen of Hearts is already very angry with both of us, and if she sees you two, no good will come of it.
Oh, but what am I to do?
Attend some other party, child.
Oh, well, at least I have this baby to look after. I don't look after it. There's sure to doing it. Do not grunt. That is not a proper way for a baby to express itself. Now, if you're going to act like a pig, I will have nothing to do with you. It is a pig! Oh, well, it would have made a dreadfully ugly baby, but I think it'll make a pretty handsome pig. Oh, it's getting so dark out.
Growl. Meow.
Oh, Pussycat, they would take me with them to the palace. Could you tell me which way to go?
That depends on where you want to go.
Well, I don't care where,
Then it doesn't matter which way you go.
but I must go somewhere.
You're sure to do that if only you walk long enough.
Hmm, what sort of people live here?
To the east lives a Mad Hatter. To the west, a Mad Marsh Hare. Visit either you like.
Well, I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad.
How do you know I'm mad?
You must be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, what a strange country.
Perfectly true. No one you meet here is quite what he seems. Even to himself. Why they call it Wonderland.
Oh, what a frightening place.
Nobody will harm you.
Truly?
Yes, truly. Except, of course, the Queen of Hearts. She's the most bloodthirsty person to ever live. Make an enemy of her, you're doomed.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Are you really going to the palace?
Well, I may. Or I may not.
If you do go, you may see me there, or you may not. What became of the baby?
We turned into a pig.
I thought so. Did you say pig or pig?
I said pig. And I wish you would quit appearing and vanishing so suddenly.
Bye-bye.
Oh, such a curious cat. How twinkly and people laughing. The March Hare must be serving tea. Oh, I hope he's not raving mad. At least not as he is in March, because it's May. Oh, how uncomfortable for the poor dormouse. It's asleep, I think.
No room! No room!
Why, there's plenty of room.
It's the Dormouse. Have some wine.
I don't see any wine.
There isn't it.
Then it wasn't very nice of you to offer it.
Well, it wasn't nice of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table. Very passing.
And you should learn not to make personal remarks. It's rude.
Why is a raven like a right? I believe I could guess that.
Do you mean you think you could find out the answer?
Exactly so.
And why don't you say what you mean?
I do. At least I mean what I say, and that's the same thing, you know. Not the same thing a bit. Why, just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say that I like what I get is the same as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same with you.
What day is it? The 4th. 2 days home. I told you not to stuff butter in the gear!
It was the best butter.
I don't understand. The dormouse is asleep again. Of course, just as you wish. Have you guessed a little bit? I give up. What's the answer?
Well, I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor I.
I think you ought to do better things with time than go around wasting it asking riddles that have no answer. If you you would not talk about wasting it. It's him. I don't know what you mean. Of course you don't. Well, I did say you never even spoke to time. Well, I know you have to beat time when you learn music. Oh, that accounts for it. He won't stand beating. Now, if you really kept on a good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you like with him. For instance, suppose for time to begin lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time. And round, go, clock to 1:30. Time for dinner! Move down!
I wish it was.
Well, no, it isn't. It's that I shouldn't be hungry. Not at first, perhaps, but you could keep it to 1:30 as long as you like. That's the way you manage. Not I. We both last night before we went mad. You know, it was at the great Queen of Hearts concert, and I had to sing. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. You know the poem, perhaps? Something like it. It goes on in this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little twinkle. I sang that for a party once, and I barely made it through the first verse when the queen bawled out, "He's killing time!" off with his hand. He's killing time! Savage! Ever since Father Time won't do a thing I ask, it's always 4 o'clock by my watch. Is that why there's so many teacups? Yes, it's always tea time. We have no time to wash the cups in between. Or I suppose you just move down. Exactly so, as things get used up. But what happens when you get to the beginning again?
Suppose we finish the subject. I wrote a young lady tells a story.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't know one. Then
And
a
the
dormouse
dormouse
shall.
shall.
Wake up, dormouse! I wasn't asleep.
Tell us a story.
Oh, yes, please do. And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep before it's done. Once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and their names were Elsie, Ann Lacey, and Tilly, and they lived at the bottom of the well. What did they live on? They lived on maple syrup. Oh, they must have been very ill. So they were very ill.
Have some more tea.
Well, I can't take more because I haven't had any at all. You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing. And no one asked for your opinion. Who's making personal remarks now? Why do they live at the bottom of the well? of a muchness. Have you ever seen a sort of drawing of a muchness?
Oh, really? Now you ask me.
Well, I don't know, and you should not talk about it! You are much too rude. I should have never taken tea with you. I should have went to the Queen's garden party.
Do you mean to say that you were invited to play croquet?
I was. And you didn't go. Well, I haven't
Then
yet.
you must go. You must go now.
Don't wait another second. Just go.
Do you know what can happen to us?
If you have antagonized Her Majesty, heads will roll.
Heads will roll.
Well, how do I get to the palace?
Go up the hill. You'll find a big mulberry bush.
If you go round Mulberry Bush, you'll see the palace and the royal croquet grounds. Now go!
You can't possibly miss it. Hurry, hurry.
No, I'm going as fast as I can. Oh, please don't jump off my head.
Her Majesty, give way for the Queen of Hearts.
Who is this? What is your name, child? My name is Alice, Your Majesty. We met this morning.
Alice, to be sure. And who are these?
How should I know? This is your croquet garden.
Off with their heads!
Consider, my dear, she is only a child.
I forgive you on the grounds of youth. Turn them over!
I mean, yes, Your Royal Majesty.
Get them on their feet, the miserable wretches! No, stop! That's ridiculous! Bad way! You make me giddy. Now what have you been doing here? Off with their heads! Take it away! You play croquet, my dear?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come along, then. In my court, we used to make Nostradamus. So amusing, don't you agree?
Is she really going to jump off their heads?
Well, She'll know, but I don't know if she'll tell you. She's too upset about losing her head.
Coming, coming!
I can't think how glad I am to see you again, you old dame. You're thinking again, my dear, and that makes you forget to talk. I can't quite think what the moral of this is, but I'll remember here in a moment. The queen is going to chop off your head. What's the moral of that? Tut, tut, child. Everything's got a moral if you can find it. How are you getting on? How do you like the queen?
Oh, not at all. She's very fond of beheading people. And the question is that there's anyone left alive.
Did you not enjoy croquet?
Not the way they play it here.
What do you think of me, my dear?
Well, when I'm a duchess, I won't have any pepper in my kitchen at all. Maybe it's pepper that makes people hot-tempered, and vinegar that makes them sour, and sugar cookies that make children sweet-tempered. Oh, I'm so frightened.
I've never lost my head before. And the moral of this is, love makes the world go around.
Oh, there. How fond you are of finding morals in things.
You're wondering why I don't put my arm around you. The thing is, I'm worried about the temper of your flamingo. Shall I try an experiment? He might bite. Very true. Flamingos and mustard, they both bite. And the moral of that is, birds of a feather flock together. Except mustard isn't a bird. You're right. What a clear way you just have a pudding thing. It's a mineral, I think. Of course it is. And there's a mineral mine right around here. And the moral of that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours. Well, I think I'd understand that better if I had it written down. That's nothing to what I could say. Fine day, Your Majesty. I give you fair warning. You must get ready for your execution, or I'll chop off your head. Have you met the mock turtle yet?
I don't even know what a mock turtle is.
It's the thing that mock turtle soup is made from. Go along and he'll tell you the story. Ribbit! Is that the mock turtle? No, you foolish girl. That is a griffin. Stop, you lazy thing. But take this girl to see the mock turtle. I must go see to the executions.
You heard what our foolish majesty said.
Right. I've never been so happy to leave a place in all my life. Now, how far is the walk?
Not much further.
Well, where does he live?
In a forest of some kind.
But I thought he was a turtle.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, what does he look like?
Ugly.
Is that why he's crying?
It's all in his head. Come on. This here young lady wants to hear your stories.
I'll tell her. Sit down and don't speak a word until I finish. Once I was a real turd. When we were little, we went to school in the sea. The master was an old turd. We used to call him Tortoise.
Why did you call him Tortoise if he wasn't one?
We called him Tortoise because he was a teacher and he bored us. Really, you are very dull.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself for asking such a question.
We went to school in the sea, though you may believe it.
I never said I did it.
You did.
Hold your tongue.
We had the best of education. In fact, we went to school every day.
I've been to day school too. You need to be all proud of all that.
With extras
Yes, French and music.
and what?
Well, certainly not.
Ah, then yours wasn't a very good school. Now, at our school, rent, music, and washing extra.
Well, you shouldn't need it as much. Living at the bottom of the sea.
I couldn't afford to learn it. I had to take a regular tour.
And what was that?
Reading and writing, of course, to begin with. And then the different branches of arithmetic. Ambition, distraction, identification, and division.
I've never heard of multiplication.
Never heard of uglification. Surely you know what to beautify is.
Of course I do. It means to make anything prettier.
Then, if you don't know what to uglify is, then you are a simpleton.
How many hours a day did you attend school?
10 hours the first day, 9 the next, and so on.
Oh, what a curious plan.
It's why they're called lessons. They lesson from day to day.
So then the 11th day must have been a holiday.
Of course it was.
But how did you manage on the 12th?
You know, tell her about the games, will you?
Thank you. You may not have lived much under the sea,
I haven't.
and perhaps you were never introduced to a lobster.
Well, I would say... No, never.
Then you have no idea what a delightful thing a lobster quadrille is.
A quadrille. Isn't that a dance?
Would you like to see a little one?
Oh, yes, please.
Come, let's dance the lobster quadrille. It can be managed without lobsters, you know.
Will the queen allow it?
We won't tell her.
You sing, I forgot the words.
Will you walk a little faster? Set a white into a sail. There's a porpoise close behind us, and he's treading on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you, will you join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you join the dance? You could really have no notion how delightful it will be when they take us up and throw us with the lobsters out to sea. The further off from England, the closer 'tis to France. Then turn not pale beloved, sail and come and join the dance. Would not, could not, would not, could not, would not join the dance. Would not, could not, would not, could not join the dance.
Oh, a whiting.
No.
Because it polishes our boots.
The whiting polishes your boots?
What are yours done with?
Lacking, I believe.
Well, under the sea, all of our boots are polished with whiting. Now you know.
And what are they made of?
Soles and heels, of course. Any shrimp could have told you that.
If I were the whiting in the story, I would have told the porpoise to keep back. We don't want you with us.
No wise fish would go anywhere without a porpoise.
Would you really?
Of course not. If a fish came to me and told me you were going on a journey, I would say, with what porpoise?
Enough. Would you like to hear another song or do another dance?
Oh, a song, please.
No, count personal tastes. Sing us a one about turtle soup, will you?
Soup of the evening, beautiful soup, beautiful soup, beautiful soup. Soup of the evening, beautiful soup.
You're under arrest.
I am?
Anything you say will be used against you.
What am I arrested for?
The Knave of Hearts, he stole some cards, and you are suspected of being a necessity after the fact.
But I never met the Knave of Hearts.
Come along quietly, or you shall be beheaded. March! Hear ye, the trial's beginning, the trial's beginning.
Oh, I wish I'd get this trial over with and pass around the park. It looks delicious. Silence in the court. I would like to say that I am completely innocent of the charges brought against me. Off with their hands, right?
Silence in court.
Harold, read the accusation.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some cards, all on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those cards and put them quite away.
And I had nothing to do with it.
Consider your verdict.
Not yet, not yet. There's a great deal to come before this.
Then you may call your first witness.
First witness, Mad Hatter, Mad Hatter.
Hurry up! We haven't got all day! Oh, I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. This is respectable to them. I mean, I'm sorry for bringing this in, but I haven't quite finished my tea. But when did you begin? 14th March, I think it was.
Actually, it was 15.
Derby, write that down!
Silence in court.
We just take off your hanging line! I'm a poor man, Your Majesty, and the bread and butter is so expensive, and the twinkling of the tea tray.
The twinkling of what?
It began with the tea.
Of course, twinkling begins with a T. What do you take me for? A dunce? If that is all, you may stand down.
I can't go any lower. I'm on the floor as it is.
Then you may sit down.
I'd rather go home and finish my tea.
You may go.
But mark my words, she is a very peculiar young girl. Just might go around stealing other people's toys. Suspicious! Very suspicious! She didn't help. She often helped herself to tarts without permission. I think the girl ought to be the head of principal.
Consider your verdict.
There's a great deal to come before that. I've just been handed this paper to set a person.
Suspicious!
Is it in the handwriting of either prisoner?
Not in mine.
Not in mine.
Shall I read it anyways, Your Majesty?
Begin at the beginning and go on till the end. Then stop.
They told me you'd been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim.
This is the most important piece of evidence we've heard. Let the jury proceed.
If any of the jury can explain it, I'll give them 6 pence. I don't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
She doesn't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
I seem to see some meaning in it. I said I could not swim. Can you swim?
Do I look like I could?
You heard him confess. Consider your verdict.
No, sentence first, verdict later. That's illegal. Hold your tongue. Alice, I said hold your tongue. I won't. I said hold your tongue. Now I won't do it. Ah, with the hand!
Ah, the hand!
That is help.
You lost that head.
Off with the hand! kite, the claws that hatch. Beware the jub-jub bird and shun, the fruity Spaniard snatch. And as in and of his thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the toady wood and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through and through. The Vorpal blade went snicker-snack, he left the bed and with his head, he was looking back. Doesn't make any sense.
It does to me. Perhaps we should run a little and clear away the cobweb?
Oh, no, thank you. I've done quite enough of that. It's too hot and thirsty.
Have a drink of this. While you're refreshing yourself, I will just take the vegetables. And at the end of 2 yards, I shall give you your directions. Have another biscuit?
Oh, no, thank you. It's running quite enough.
There's plenty left over. I shall pay some toward it. 3, 4, and I must say goodbye to the 5. Here's how to cross the chestnut. Listen, upon your 2 squares at the first moving point, then you go very quickly through the 3rd square, and you'll find yourself in the 4th square in no time. That square belongs to Tweedledum and Tweedledee. The 5th is mostly water. And the 6th belongs to the Humpty Dumpty. You'll have to deal with him however you can. Have nothing to say.
I didn't know I was supposed to say anything just then.
The 7th is all forest. And the 8th will be queens together. It's all feasting and fun. Off we go.
Oh, she can run very fast.
Goodbye, my little dear. If you think we're statues, you don't pay no. Statues aren't made to be looked at for nothing, no how. On the other hand, if you think we're alive, you ought to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know what you're thinking, but it isn't so, no how.
Contrary-wise, if it was so, it could be. If it were so, it would be. And if it isn't, it ain't. That's logic. Well, I was thinking which would be the best way to cross the chessboard. You like poetry? Some poetry. What shall we recite to her?
The walrus and the carpenter, that's the longest.
Oh, it's very long. Would you please tell me which way to go first?
Sit down and listen.
The walrus and the carpenter were walking on the strand. They wept like anything seen, such quantities of sand. If the way were cleared, they said it would be grand.
Sit down.
Oh, oysters come and walk with us, the walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk along the briny beach. If we can do more than 4 to give a hand to each.
Sit down.
4 little oysters hurried up, all eager for a treat. Their coats were brushed, their faces washed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was odd because, you know, they hadn't any feet.
Sit down.
4 other oysters followed them, and yet another 4, and thick and fast and came at last, and more and more and more, all hopping through the frothy waves and scrambling to the shore.
Sit down.
The walrus and the carpenter walked a mile or so, and then they rested on a rock conveniently low. All the little oysters stood and waited in a row.
Sit down.
The time has come, the walrus said, to
talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and cakes, and why the sea is boiling hot and whether pigs have wings. Sit down.
A local friend, the walrus said, is what we chiefly need. Pepper and vinegar besides are very good indeed. Now, if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed. How much longer? Sit down.
But not enough, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness, that'd be dismal thing to do. The night is fine, the walrus said. Do you admire the view?
Sit down. It seemed a shame, the walrus said, to play them such a trick. After he brought them so far and made them trout so quick, the carpenter said nothing but the bar spread too thick.
Sit down. I weep for you, the walrus said. I deeply sympathize. With sobs and tears he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes. One more verse. Oh, oyster, said the carpenter, we've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again? But answers came there none. And this was scarcely odd because they beat everyone.
I like the walrus best, because he was at least a little sorry for the poor oysters. He ain't worse than the carpenter, though. He held his pocket handkerchief in front so the carpenter couldn't see how many he had took. Oh, no. What a very unpleasant tale. Now, could you please tell me which way to go first? I'm afraid it's going to get dark. It might rain.
Don't get wet.
Oh, such dreadful creatures. I'm lost. Can I do some need help? Ooh, someone's shawl has been blown off. Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. Ooh, am I addressing the white sheet? I call it undressing. Oh, may I put your shawl straight for you? It's all out of timber. I've pinned it here, I've pinned it there, but there's just no placing it. Well, if you pin it all on one side, it's not going to go on the shoulders. Oh, my dear, what state your hair is in.
The brush got entangled in it, and I lost it home yesterday.
That's a little better. But really, you should get a lace mix.
That's very sweet. I'll hire you with pleasure.
Oh, no, thank you.
Tuppence once a week and jam every other day.
I don't want you to hire me. And I'm not very fond of jam. Would you please tell me which way to go?
It's very good jam.
Well, I don't want any today.
You couldn't even if you wanted to. The rule is jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, but never jam today.
Well, it must come to jam today sometime.
No, it can't. That's not the way it works.
I don't understand.
That's the effect of living backwards. It makes one a little giddy.
I've never heard of living backwards.
One's memory has one great advantage. It works both ways.
Well, my memory only works one way.
It's poor memory that only works backwards.
Well, what sort of things do you remember best?
Things that happened the week after next. For instance, now the Queen's messenger is serving in prison, and the trial won't come till next Wednesday. So of course the crime comes last of all.
But suppose he never commits the crime.
That would be all the better, wouldn't it?
Of course it would be all the better. But not if he was still being punished.
You're wrong there at any rate.
I know. Ow! Oh, and you cut your finger?
Not yet, but I soon shall.
Oh, when? When I go to pin my shawl again, the pin will come and then, oh, well, let me help you.
See, that accounts for the bleeding. Now you understand the way things work around here.
I'm glad it's getting lighter. I thought night was coming on.
It must be nice to be able to be glad whenever you like.
It is. Except not here. It's very different, and that makes me sad. Oh, don't blow it like that! Consider anything, but don't be sad! Can you stop yourself from crying by considering things?
Well, you can't do two things at once. Consider your age. How old are you?
7.5 exactly.
I'm 101, 5 months and a day.
I can't believe that.
Can't you?
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the horses and all the men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Now the last line is far too long for poetry.
Don't stand chattering to yourself. Tell me your name and your business.
My name is Alice, and I'm crossing the chessboard to become a queen.
Alice? That's a stupid name. What does it mean?
Must the name mean something?
Of course. My name means the shape that I am. In a very handsome shape it is to be. With a name like yours, you might be any shape.
Why do you sit on the wall all alone?
Why? Because there's nobody with me. Did you think I didn't know the answer to that? Ask me another.
Don't you think to be safer on the ground?
Of course I don't. Even if I did fall off, which there's no chance of, the king himself has promised.
To send all of his horses and all of his men to put you back together again.
You've been listening to Doris Winterberg.
No, I haven't. It's in a book I have. Oh, and what a beautiful belt you got on. Oh, this is a lotion. Oh, I wish I knew which was his waist and which was his neck.
It is most provoking to not know the difference between a belt and a bow tie. It's a tie, child. It was given to me from the White Queen herself.
Was it really?
It was given to me for an unbirthday present.
Oh, and what's an unbirthday present?
A present given to you when it isn't your birthday?
Well, I like birthday presents the best.
You don't know what you're talking about. How many days are there in a year?
365.
And how many birthdays have you?
1.
And if you take 1 from 365, what remains?
364, of course.
That shows that there are 364 days when you might get an unbirthday present. There's glory for you.
I don't know what you mean by glory.
Of course you don't. I mean, that's a nice knockdown argument for you.
But glory doesn't mean a nice knockdown argument.
When I use a word, it means what I choose it to. Neither more nor less.
The question is, if you can make words mean different things.
The question is, which is to be mastered. Impenetrability. That's what I say.
Well, if you're so good at describing words, could you please tell me what this poem Jabberwocky means?
I could if I choose. I could explain all the poems that were ever invented. A good many that haven't yet. But instead, I'll give you a piece of advice.
Well, thank you.
Listen carefully, because this is very important. I sent a message to the fish. I told them this is what I wish. The little fish's answer was, "We cannot do it, sir, because..."
That's your advice?
The important part is coming. Then someone came to me and said, "The little fishes are in bed." I took a corkscrew from the shell. I went to wake them up myself. But when I found the door was locked, I pushed and pulled and kicked and knocked. But when I found the door was shut, I tried to turn the handle, but...
Is that all?
So my advice is... Run! Run for your life! It's the Queen of Hearts!
What?
Run!
morbid to have a dinner party at all. But if I am, should I invite guests?
The guests have already been invited, and we must hurry, or they won't sleep. No, I feel so sleepy. Oh, she's tired. Poor thing. Smooth her hair, lend her your knife, and sing her a soothing lullaby.
Oh, I will have a nightcap with me, and I don't know any soothing lullabies.
Oh, my ears and whiskers! We're going to be late. Come along, your royal majesty.
We minstrel the soup and the fish. Bring on the mutton. I drink to Queen Alice's health.
To Queen Alice's health.
Well, my girl, I did think you were right. I was hot on your heels from square to square. I was determined to chop off your head before you ever set your crown on it. But it's too late to remedy matters now, so you may go safely home whenever you like.
Now that we've drank to your health, you ought to return thanks in a neat little speech.
To Looking Glass Land. Now let it be said, I've a scepter in hand and crown on my head, to the Looking Glass creatures, whatever they be. Come and dine with the Red Queen, the White Queen, and me.
So fill up your glasses as quick as you can.
Put caps in the coffee and ice in the tea. And welcome Queen Alice with 30 times 3. With 30 times 3. With 30 times 3. And welcome Queen Alice with 30 times 3.
Oh, Looking Glass creatures, I beg you draw near. It was a favor to have you. It was an honor to hear. It was a privilege time to have dinner and tea, along with the Red Queen, the White Queen, and me.
So fill up your glasses with syrup and egg and anything else.
Take sand with the cider and wool with the wine.
And welcome Queen Alice with 90 times 9.
With 90 times 9. With 90 times 9. And welcome Queen Alice with 90 times 9.
I know that soon I will wake up in my chair by the fireside with a small black queen in my lap, knowing that all of this was a dream. But I will never, not ever, forget my magical